6 months from now, it'll be 2022. We're going to get into the 5 reasons why now is your time. Not the time to hold back on your goals, time to double down on your goals. Not the time to make your goals more, quote, realistic. Make them more unrealistic, because some unrealistically good things are going to happen for many people, the people who decide this is going to happen. It's going to happen for you in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months, the next 18 months. It is going to happen. We're at the halfway mark of the year. I think this snuck up on a lot of people. I've brought this up to a couple of folks who said, what? I guess you're right. Hadn't thought about it. It's like we all put life on pause for the last 18 months. It's time to take your finger off the pause button and press play on your life. Start moving forward. And the good news is this is the right time to do it. This is the digital revolution. We've talked about it over the last 2 or 3 decades. But what happened because of the pandemic is very interesting. I believe that it would have taken us another 10 to 15 years to get to where we are now with the internet economy if the pandemic had not happened. I'm not saying it's a good thing that it happened, but good things did come out of it. So it's the digital revolution. More people online than ever before, more people buying things online than ever before, more people open to and understand how to learn online than ever before. So it makes the market, I believe, we don't know the numbers yet, nobody knows for sure, at least 10 times bigger than it was 18 months ago. Probably more like 100 times bigger. Wow, that should blow your mind. That's a reason why now's the time for you to double down on your goals and get your online business into the revenue level that you want it to be, into the profit level that you want it to be, that you establish the lifestyle that you want to be living, that business supports. Now's the time because of this digital revolution. And reason number 2, why now is your time, is because this is the Wild West economy all over again. For those of you who are familiar, the greatest expansion in American history was during the Wild West days, as we expanded the territory from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. The railroads were built, the cities were built across the nation, the connections were made through industry, the Industrial Revolution happened, and the economy exploded. We became the #1 economy in the world. Capitalism had a home called the United States of America. It's still here. It's still the imperfect, always getting better, always room for improvement, land of the free and home of the brave. And there's more freedoms and more bravery required at every step of the journey. And that's a good thing. It's an adventure that we're on. Who wants to live in boring times? Nobody. People who live in boring times read about adventures and dream of adventures. We're living the adventure right now. We're in the movie. This is the Wild West, the gold rush days, when fortunes were made. Fortune favors the bold. Let's be bold. Proverbs, book of Proverbs, ancient book of wisdom, chapter 28, verse 1 says, "The wicked flee where none pursue, but the righteous are bold as lions." Let's be bold as lions and go out and seize this Wild West opportunity. You get to define what that means for you. You get to define what you want your life to look like. You get to define what you want your business to look like, how you want that to work, how you want it to work for your family, what you want your legacy to be. You get to decide, but you have to decide. Reason number 3, chaos rewards optimism. Are we in a time of chaos right now? You betcha. It's chaotic. We don't know what the stock market's going to do. We don't know what the real estate market's going to do. We don't know how much lumber's going to cost. We don't know whether the ice cream machine at McDonald's is going to be broken or not. I mean, come on, this is chaos. And chaos rewards optimism. Now, the truth is, chaos rewards and reflects whatever you expect of it, because chaos contains all the elements to create order. Our job on the earth is to create order, to order existence in the way that we see it, to first have a vision and see how we want things to be, and then make them the way we see them. That's creating order from the chaos. That only happens when an intelligent being intervenes in reality and makes it happen. That intelligent being is you. It's you, my friend, you. Chaos rewards optimism with positive results. Optimism, as it's defined by most people in the past up until now, has been, I always expect the best. Everything's working out in my favor. But rational optimism is not always expecting the best, but it's always making the best of whatever comes. We can expect the best and prepare for the worst, if you like. We can do that. And we can move the chaotic pieces on the game board in front of us around in such a way to play the game in order to win with positive, rational, optimistic strategy and tactics. So I'm not suggesting you get the Pollyanna attitude and ignore what's really happening. No, I'm saying the opposite. Look at what's really happening. Look at the chaos. Look for the opportunities in the chaos and press into that. And if you're saying, I don't know how to do that, Figure it out, my friend. There's ways to do that. Find a friend who knows how to figure it out and follow them. Reason number 4, this is the inflection point. Worldwide, more millionaires are being made now than ever in the history of the world economy. It's been the case during the Great Depression. It was the case during the recession of the 70s and 80s. It was the case during the Great Recession of 2008 when the market collapsed because the banks made all the bad loans. Remember that? Millionaires made. Big companies born. Airbnb, Zoom was born. It's happening again. And are you going to be part of it? That's your question. That's the question you should be asking yourself. Am I going to be part of it? Look, money doesn't solve every problem, but money is awesome at solving the problems that only money can solve. I'm not saying place your faith in money. No, place your faith in God and in his son, Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. And beyond that, have faith that you're going to have the provision you're looking for. And just know that you don't place ultimate faith in things that can be taken away from you. Your money can be taken away from you. We've seen the government can come in and shut your business down. Your health can be taken away from you. It will be. We will all die. We all have a terminal disease. It's called life. So we're all going to die. That's a gate we're all going to pass through. So the things in this life are temporary. We're stewards of what we have been given in this life. It's a gift for us. And I'm suggesting we enjoy the gift to the maximum amount possible. And while it's possible, and it's certainly possible right now, just decide you're going to have the $1 million. Don't make that your reason for living, your reason for life. Don't make that something you worship, but why not have it in the meantime? And the Bible, if you read that book and you believe in what it says that God grants us the power to create wealth. So let's do that. It says God loves a cheerful giver. Well, let's give. And to give, we need to have something to give. So let's get something so we can give something. And one person we can give it to without guilt, without shame, is to ourselves. We can give nice things to ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you just make money and buy nice things for yourself, you're still helping other people because you got to pay for those nice things you bought, which pays every company, every employee, every maker, every craftsperson, everybody involved in that transaction. And then all those people go and spend their money in the economy. They buy education, they buy makeup, they buy products for their kids, they buy healthcare. It helps everyone. Your prosperity benefits everyone. Reason number 5, exponential growth is just around the corner. Look, our economy has already grown off-world. You don't realize it yet. You may have missed this in the midst of all the other stuff we've been thinking about over the last 18 months, but we're planning missions to Mars with human beings on board. And some people say, well, that's ridiculous. We need to solve the problems of the planet. This has always been the argument about space exploration. It was always the argument, even when the space we were exploring was a space across the water to the new land, to the new world, to the new frontier, America. As we discovered new continents, new islands, new opportunities, as we developed technologies that allowed us to live in the Arctic and the Antarctic, under the oceans, in space, on space stations. We have people living on space stations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. When I was a child, that was a fantasy. Things that were once science fiction are now realistically being constructed, built, and launched. Meanwhile, here on Earth, that's fueling the economy, the economic growth, exponential growth. The internet infrastructure is going to change and develop and deepen and widen. If you're concerned about privacy and the internet and the electronic network drilling down deeper into your life, buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. And make no mistake, the reason we've had so much conflict over the last year, I've been thinking about this very carefully. Last year to 18 months has been very conflict-ridden. We've been aware of everything that's happening everywhere on the planet, 24/7. And the reason that's happened is because we're more connected than ever before. We just didn't know all this stuff before. It's not that things like this weren't happening before. We didn't know all of it at the same time, instantly, over and over again, on constant replay. Now we do. That's forcing a lot of interaction with people and problems and attitudes and cultural inequities that we've never had to deal with before because they weren't so in our face before. Now they are. Welcome to the new world, sunshine. It's a good thing because we're going to deal with this stuff. We're going to get better, and exponential growth is already happening. It's the beginnings of it are happening right now. The question is, are you going to get on board and take that ride? My answer is yes. Sign me up. Thank God I'm alive right now. So I want you to think about, what is it that you've been putting off? Is it a business? So these are 5 reasons why now is your time. Now is your time.